Hello, I'm Dr. Ruthie, sexuality educator, relationship expert. I blog over at exploringintimacy.com, and thanks to the good folks at funwares.com, I'm here answering your grown-up sexuality education questions on relationships and pleasure. And I have an excellent question today. N writes in, I'm looking to enjoy a more sensual holiday instead of a more stressful one. It seems like every time the holidays come around, my partner and I end up stressed out and fighting with each other. Can you give us some new ideas for things to explore that don't necessarily take a lot of time, but can help us remember to stay attached to our relationship? Thanks. Absolutely, and I am so glad that you asked. And you're right, this is an absolutely stressful time. In one of my earlier Funwares videos, I talked about this a little bit on how to resolve conflict over the holidays and how to survive it as a stronger couple instead of a more stressed out couple. But I love your approach for healing the stress and avoiding the future stress by using different kind of sensual activities and ideas. I think that is excellent. For many folks, a lack of sex means there's a problem, and we can resolve that problem in order to hopefully find our way to better sex. But sometimes a little bit of better sex can help us resolve some problems too, like an increase in stress over the holidays or feeling disconnected from our partners. So, excellent question. So, what I would encourage you to do is to hone in exactly on what you said, the sensual or the five senses that we have, right? This is a wonderful time when we need to take shelter in our relationships to get away from holiday stresses or to process and celebrate the joys of holiday things as well. Of course, hopefully your holiday isn't nothing but stress. Hopefully there's some fun in it as well. And so this is a great time to be able to reconnect and explore our senses. And it gives us an opportunity to explore each other, which can lead us to some great New Year's resolutions of pleasure and intimacy and connection as well. So now is the time to explore and indulge your senses and perhaps even create some new sensual rituals around them. So let's talk about those. First, our five senses, just to brush up in case you've forgotten since high school or middle school or whenever it was we studied those things. I guess it was probably elementary school. Anyway, sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch. Let's start with sight. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of a bigger project, I suggest you look around the areas of your home that you would like to make sensual, but are currently not. I can't tell you how many times I meet folks and they describe how nice, their home's coming along, whether they just moved in or they've been there for a long time, whatever it may be. But their bedroom seems to be just this catch-all room. And I tend to think of the different rooms of the house as being symbolic to different aspects of our lives. So I bet you can guess what the bedroom can be symbolic of as well. It's our inner sanctum, it's our sensuality, it's our relationship, it's our restfulness, it's our relaxation, all those different things. And if that room is junky and not sensual and is serving too many purposes, is overstretched and overburdened, that can be some interesting symbolism about our lives as well. Now, cleaning your bedroom may not fix all those problems, but it can definitely give you some more energy to deal with the relationship side of things and your day-to-day life side of things. So take a look at the room and what does it need? Does it need a more sensual, relaxing color? Does it need for you to take some things out of it that remind you of stuff that you don't want to be thinking about when you're trying to be sensual? If you've got your work computer in there, or you've got that TV you use when you have insomnia, I know, dare I suggest you take the TV and the computer out of the bedroom, but that can be a wonderful move for your relationship and your sanity too. When you look around your bedroom, make sure it's the kind of place that you want to make your castle, the heart of your castle, your sensual heart of your home. Okay, so that is my first thought for sight, taking whatever room, it doesn't even necessarily need to be the bedroom, and making sure that what you're looking at is sensually pleasing to you and to your relationships. What about other things for sight that are not such a giant project? Well, of course, I can suggest all those little things like getting yourself some cute lingerie or sexy man undies, whatever it is that you like to wear or you like your sweetie to wear. There's other things we can do with sight as well. That includes taking the time to just make that sensual eye contact with each other, right? And taking the time to connect with each other in a way that reminds each other of our physical presence. So, when your hand lightly brushes over your lover's arm or your sweetheart's arm, allowing your eyes to just watch the way your skin connects together. Little moves like that can be wonderfully stimulating for the eyes as well. Let's move on to smell. What can we do with that? Well, if you want a larger project, you can always look at infusing your house with different kinds of sensual scents, right? So, whether that's a lovely natural soy wax candle or putting some flowers in and keeping those different scents in your house the same. But it can also be smaller things too, like picking up the habit of wearing a certain fragrance whenever you want to be flirtatious. It doesn't mean you have to score every time that you wear this, but it's a way to prime yourself for a sensual, enjoyable time, and also to get your partner to notice these things kind of subconsciously and below the radar, so that they start to notice that you're in a particularly kissy or snuggly mood. And they know that you're going to be in that mood because they can smell it coming, because you have that sort of scent on that you wear, to signal that to yourself and to your partner. So that can be a wonderful way to use scent as well. For those of you who like to make your own fragrances, take a look at which kind of scents can be aphrodisiacs, but also think about which scents tend to turn you on as well. If you have trouble concentrating on the moment, maybe adding a little bit of peppermint can help to invigorate your concentration. Look at all those different properties and see what works for you. What about taste? What can we do with that? Well, speaking of aphrodisiacs, we've all heard of certain foods having seductive powers, but also taking the opportunity to taste our lover in a different way. When was the last time the two of you kissed each other in such a way that you could really enjoy each other's natural taste? Or that you spiced up the flavor of your mouth a little bit with a mint or a piece of candy or something else that was flavorful and delicious for them to discover. Or you can use a little bit of honey or something else that you find enjoyable, perhaps puddings in the place of body paint because they're easier to clean and tend to taste a little better sometimes. And let each other explore each other with those different tastes as well. Now remember, ladies, you don't want to put any sugar anywhere around your vulva because that can contribute to yeast infections, but you can always pave the way with something sweet and tasty, right? Let's talk a little bit about sound. What do you listen to? What gets you in the mood? Take some time to go through your music tracks, through your iTunes or whatever you use, and find the songs that get you turned on or that power you through those really exciting interludes with your partner or yourself, and make yourself a soundtrack just dedicated to that with a name that you find saucy and enticing so that you have the kind of background music you want to listen to. Putting on the radio can be good, but it kind of breaks the mood when they take that call in for the contest and it's not very sexy at all, or the commercials come on. Yeah. So take a little time to invigorate the sound around you. And also pay attention to the different sounds and feels that you have for each other. Are you making sexual sounds that are authentic to the way that you're feeling, or do you find yourself just kind of playing along? Now is a great time to stop faking it and to really tune into what pleases you and tune into those authentic sexual sounds that you can make. And finally, touch. There's so many things that we could suggest for touch. What I encourage you to do is to discover a different place on your partner's body each night these holiday seasons to touch, and touch it in a unique way. And that can lead to foreplay and sex or not. But sometimes we just get into this habit of touching our partner's body parts in a certain order and in a certain way each night. Ban yourself from doing that and make it your mission to find a new place on yourself or your partner's body that turns you on that you didn't even know had that capability before. And I guarantee you by the holidays, you're going to find at least one that works for you and that you're so happy that you discovered or rediscovered. And by going through your five senses like this, you can reconnect in a different way each night. You don't need to do all of these every day by any means, but just mindfully including one, maybe two of them each time that you have a moment together, whether it's a larger project that helps set the stage and environment for a more sensual exchange with each other, or whether it's a smaller game or activity that you decide to do together. Go ahead and give yourself permission to explore those senses again, just like you just met and you're still discovering each other. I'm Dr. Ruthie. Have a wonderful, sensual, low-stress holiday, and I'll see you at the next video. Thanks.